Hello, everyone. Welcome to ELIAN'S Joy today. I am so excited to be here. I am so excited to see all of you beautiful people all over. Welcome to the Win-Win Women ELIAN'S Joy episode today. I am your host, Elian Han, and I'm super excited to be here and to share with you today. Like I always am super excited to share with you new things, body things, mind things, spirit things. So every month I have a new theme of the show, and I'm kind of brewing the whole month around that. And this is January 2022, and I have a body mind. This month is body. So all about the body and things that are also good for our mind and good for our soul and good for our spirit and all that. So I want to just do that a little bit with you today and talk about Qi and talk about energy and how we can get more of that, because everybody needs a little bit energy and we need the power of it. And how can we tap in to this power of energy ourselves? Like I said, my name is Elian. Welcome to Elian's Joy. I am full of energy and joy today to be with you. And let's talk a little bit about where this came from. When it comes to me, how I started this and how I got into this energy movement thing and what I can share with you about it. I want you to have a little takeaway today, of course. And my takeaway for you is just few exercises, breathing, mindfulness exercises, chi exercises that you can do anywhere, any time of the day. And it's just kind of like a moving meditation. So I'll get a little bit more into that. Where this comes from? Well, I started this in 2013 in my fitness, movement, wellness class career. And so I had a lot of classes, and I went to a convention, and I had a beautiful, wonderful, amazing uh, mentor teacher, Lawrence Viscontini, who taught me the system of Tai Chi and Qi Gong. And I didn't think it was something for me because I like to go to the right four and to the left four and hop and be busy and sweat. And this was the days of what I call now the external fitness motivation, right? If you look good and you got those abs and you're in great shape and you're the next day you're sweating and it's all about diet and exercise. This is what I call the days that were external motivation for me, right? Great days. And I helped everybody with wonderful classes and groups and did so many fitness classes for years. But this kind of opened my eyes a little bit to going more inwards and having more of a in inwards motivation, internal, in a sense of how can I make connection between exercise, anxiety, and mindfulness. And over the years in my practice, especially working with people with trauma, being a life coach, working with people with anxiety, and still using a lot of movement and meditation exercises and techniques to help people in addiction and to recover, people in recovery. So over all those years, I learned that these chi exercises were so amazing and they were so helpful, and there was so many benefits to it over time. So all my patients love to do it, and it helped them with, in the first place, of course, becoming a little bit more mindful. And if we're a little bit more mindful, well, people tell me in the first place, why do I need to be more mindful? Well, actually, our mindfulness is something nowadays that needs to be taught. We need to practice mindfulness. And if you go 2,000 years ago and you were just sitting on the front porch of your little house on the prairie, right? Then you didn't have a cell phone and you didn't have a television with four banners and a lot of news and a lot of things going on. You didn't have all that. So when you're looking far away and you're out looking out over the prairie for 2 hours, you're mindful. But nowadays, we need to practice that because we're not really into that mindfulness anymore. We're just go, 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 go all the time. And we don't even think about what the implications of all that go, go, go all the time is. What we do feel is tremendous symptoms of stress and anxiety and going all the time and just not coming to a place of relaxation. and that place of mindfulness. Going back, for instance, thinking about in my past, thinking about my mom when she would come home and we would have watched, let's say, a television show and we saw the Beatles performing on television, right? And this was in the early 60s. She would just be able to describe everything that they were wearing, color of their pants, the material, the jackets, t-shirts, their haircut, of course, shape of their nose, the shape of their chin. And nowadays we don't do that. Actually, it's proven that we're not so mindful, because if we have to describe somebody, you would look at me, for instance, and you would have to describe me a few minutes later. It would be medium height, a blonde. Uh, she moves moves her face all the time, and she moves her hands a lot. So that you would describe, but we wouldn't really look at each other anymore to describe our eyebrows or the shape of somebody's eyes or the shape of the mouth or nose or what kind of color somebody was wearing. Or sometimes I don't even remember if somebody was wearing a hat or glasses during the day, somebody that I had seen, because we just take in per nanosecond, right? It's just like all coming to us constantly, and we're trying to process that. So there's so much coming at us that we kind of have to practice being still, being mindful, being slow. That was for me, that was really an eye opener in the beginning. I thought that was slow till I really started to see the benefits of these movements, of these Qi Gong and Tai Chi energy movements. So to explain to you a little bit of where that came from is those classes with Lawrence and that certification. And then I started teaching, and I saw immediately that my groups and my classes at that moment were 50 plusers, right? Just mature adults, I call us. And I saw so many benefits, and everybody loved it so much. Just this really slow movement and really slow breathing. And I saw how many benefits there were for everybody to just heal and calm. So we experienced so much over time. Even those groups, they stayed with me for years. And we experienced improvement in concentration. Of course, more energy during the day, but then at night, better sleep and improving flexibility and mobility. We just felt, that we were stretching out, doing the movements. And while doing the movements, we were having way more control of our breath. So there was really this nice, slow thing of controlling your movement and controlling your breath and kind of smooth it together and just have this beautiful feel of being just graceful and having a graceful movement. And if you feel that at some point, and I'll just give you an example here in a second, and you really start to feel that calm, really calm settling in. So an awareness of your breath and your flexibility is always increasing strength, because you're still doing a little bit of movement, but you're working tremendously with your upper legs. And of course, another benefit is greater balance. And that is something that we all need to work on, because like I always say, if we don't think about our balance now and we're not going to work on that and we're not going to be proactive, then you don't gain that later on. And we don't like to think 10 minutes or 10 years ahead. We don't like to think 10 years ahead, like, well, I don't know what's going to happen in my 50s or in my 60s. But we have to, because then the most important thing is that we're strong, that we have a little bit, that we have balance, and that we have mobility, and that we can still do a lot of things on our own, because that will at that point give us our independence, right? So then again, if we have better balance and we have more mobility and flexibility, and we feel that posture correction that I always talk about, I talked about it posture the whole month, right? Such a great thing when you feel that posture correction, you feel that energy flow. And that is really what that is all about. We're going to take that energy in just through a deep breath and just kind of feeling settled when you exhale, and feel that going into your feet and into your legs, and just draw you to the earth with your feeling more stable, more centered. It's kind of the same thing as you do when you practice yoga and you focus on your root chakra. You're just feeling that sense of being centered and that sense of calm and security and safety. And that's where you want to come to. So when we practice that Qi stuff, the exercises, which I don't want to really call an exercise, we could rather call it movement. So if you're making those really slow movements, we call that, if you do one movement, we just call it a Qi Gong movement. Just embracing, bringing in that energy. And when you do a Qi Gong movement, you can do one or two or three movements any time of the day. And if you would have certain movements that you would then glue together, then it becomes a form. It's almost like a beautiful form to watch, right? When you see a Tai Chi 24 short form, young style. That's what I practice and that's what I teach. And in my case, I even kind of like made that a little bit more, a tiny little bit faster and a little bit more approachable, because I call it the Eliang style, right? Because it has to also have those benefits for all the students that are coming. And sometimes sometimes need to speed it up a little bit, or just kind of make it a little bit more fitness or exercise like. So with my classes and with my approach to Tai Chi, that's what I did. I just put those movements together and we started practicing them. And it had just such a beautiful, beautiful outcome of awareness and feeling that smooth control between mind and body and spirit. And when you're working those really soft energy exercises, you can also feel that it is bringing in a sort of, calmness and meditation. And that's why many, many times they call those movements, or they call the short form of the Yang style, a moving meditation. When you do the same thing all the time and you just repeat the movement a few times, then over and over again, you feel that really calming sense. You do it over and over again, and you're starting to meditate. You really start to bring in meditation. You really feel that you're coming in a very calming state of mind. When that happens, you're not really thinking about your to-do list and what to do later. And sometimes it even takes such a concentration and concentration on the movement and the energy that you're putting in there and you're breathing, that you don't have time to think about anything at all. And if those four are settling in, you're focused on your breath, and you're focused on your balance, and you're slowly moving, so you bring in movements, then you have that moving meditation effect. And that's what I want you to get out of it. So if you feel that, then you really can use that everywhere. If you have those days that you're constantly into this, I gotta be here and I gotta be there modus, then practice this, just stand still and come into that center of now, come into that center of awareness. People say that when you practice Tai Chi and Qigong, that it's thousands years old, right? Thousands of thousands years old. They say if you practice it, it's almost the oldest form, or they claim to be the oldest form of group fitness in the world. And of course, yoga will claim that too as an old, old form of movement and fitness. But if you're thinking about yoga going back, that was really a practice that you would do alone. That was something for you that you would practice on your own. And Tai Chi really comes from when the emperor saw his groups laying around, they say, and he wanted them to do more in between them being at war, and they wanted them to practice. He wanted them to practice the slow movement between the crane and the snake that he had seen trying to attack each other, but both with so much control, one down on the ground with a lot of center of gravity, and the other one just really light hopping around and never really being able to have to attack with control, control their movement and control what they're doing. So you're going to bring it back to control of self. Don't you love that? How much things you can get out of it and how much you can do doing this Qi Gong and Tai Chi. So for example, I want to give you a little ball of Qi to work with. And I always start with this. It's so much fun. And then people take it away and go, oh, I can do that with my kids. I can do it in school. I can do it in the classroom, just to calm them down. Yes, you can do it anywhere. So when you stand up straight, let's first take a deep breath in and we'll practice the ball of Qi. You're taking a deep breath through your nose or through your mouth. But if you do it through your mouth, you want to have your tongue kind of stick to your palate. That will immediately kind of lengthen your posture a little bit and bring that energy, bring that inhale, that Qi stands for energy, that inhale that brings that energy to your spine. You just let it roll down through that whole nervous system or through your meridians, as we call that. It's a story in itself to go really deep in there. But it will touch all your organs. It will go through your body and flow through your body. So let's say that by the next deep breath, we want to bring some Qi into your inhale. You can even have your mouth a little bit open. Just deep inhale all the way down your spine, all the way to your belly. And then exhale slowly through your mouth or through your nose. And then you bring your hands together just in front of you. Not much to do. Just relax your shoulders, keep them open, and bring your hands together like you're embracing a little ball, right? A little, what do we call that ball that you can see the future in? Yes, a glass ball, crystal ball, crystal ball. So you look at that ball and you just keep really relaxed and just focus on what you're feeling between the palms of your hands. See if we can catch some Qi. Let's hold it for a little bit and just focus on what you're feeling between the palms of your hands. Nothing else. We're just going to catch some energy. Now, if you feel the same, and at some point here, you're going to feel a little tingling feeling between the palms of your hands. You're going to catch that magnetic field. You're going to feel a tingling feeling. We also use that in Reiki. We use our hands as healing hands, and they are. Because now we can just give that Qi to somebody else or give that Qi to ourselves to heal. That healing power of Qi. If you feel that between your hands in the beginning, it's, people doing like, this is crazy, Elian, what are you telling me? I said, just focus. If it's too crazy for you, to just run away. But if you're feeling that really nice tingling feeling between your hands, then even start, if you're with me, start pushing them together. A little, so bring your hands slowly together, right? You bring them slowly together. And if you feel that magnetic field of energy, then you're not able to bring them together. It's like there's something in between. It's really difficult. And if you pull them away, then you feel the same awareness. It's like they're glued together and you can bring them in and out very slowly. And that is the fun thing of playing with Qi. I love this. And kids love this. And why do we have to become aware of that energy? That energy is all around us and all inside us. And we just have to create a little bit more awareness sometime in order to feel it and to feel the flow. We can it's immeasurable Qi sometimes, right? We just can feel that with our senses. And we can feel those tingling emotions, tingling sensations. And we sometimes also have that more measurable Qi that is inside us. It's when you get really flushed and hot and it creates heat. So when you feel this, take your hands slowly back and put them on your lower belly. So put them just below your belly button. That just heals. That just is such a healing feeling if you do that. So relax. You're kind of relaxing your shoulders, right? We always have to take our tension out of our shoulders because we keep so much in those shoulders. This is such an amazing thing to do for yourself. If you're just standing, stand with 2 feet under. Just you keep your knees slightly bent. Keep your knees slightly bent, right? You don't want to hyperextend. And you're just taking a deep breath in to your belly and a slow breath out. And I do that, as you can see, with my tongue against my palate, all the way to my belly. Such a great experience. And if you do this once in a while for yourself, you can really connect with Qi, with that energy and the healing powers that it has. So there is, for instance, what they call medical Qi, right? And that's a little bit of what we do. We practice this for pain, for awareness of where to channel your energy to heal pain. So it can be used in pain management, like I do when I work with people with a lot of pain or chronic pain. And I tell them to breathe towards that pain place and bring that energy there. And they say that this has a lot of benefits for longevity too, right? So we already said we're going to add 10 or 20 years to it. Just to calm minds. These are the benefits that we use in a medical setting for Tai Chi. So like I do with people with high anxiety or with a lot of pain, just kind of breathing and bringing that Qi, that awareness, or bring your hands to it. Sometimes if we're just really anxious, we just have to fold our hands on our heart and keep them right there. I know it's a little bit to the left, but you keep them right there, your hands. And if you do that, then you just feel calmer. Or sometimes you just lay in bed and you use that little exercise ball. You create some Qi and you put your hands on your belly and you might fall asleep. So that's why that is so good. And then also, of course, this kind of chi and this kind of power is being used in martial arts a lot. And that is really tapping into the power of our potential, our strength, the capacity of what our bodies can do, just the human capacity. If you see that sometimes, think about Mr. Miyagi, right? And think about the Karate Kids and just really having that strength and using that energy to push away or to bring that strength inside or to gather your strength in your core. Sometimes we call it core, sometimes we call it powerhouse, but that is really the center of where we keep all our energy. And they say that is the center of all our energy. We call that in China the Danqian, because you were born there before you were born, right there by your umbilical cord, right? So we were having our life, our energy right there before we were born. So that is what we call in China the Danqian. And then, of course, there's a third sort and form of Tai Chi or energy or Qi Gong practice. And that is what you see in the monasteries. That's when you just practice being solo, practice being alone, practice being far away from the world, right? It is specifically for that. I'm going to give you another exercise to work with today that you can do anytime during the day. And it's called Gather the Qi and Sink the Qi. And when you do that exercise, you can do that 3 times. You can do it 6, you can do it 12, as long as you want to bring a really calming state of mind again for yourself, to bring yourself into a state of awareness. Again, you're going to have your feet just hip width under and open your hands. You're going to lift them up as if you want to gather the Qi. You're going to bring them over your head a little bit and then slowly down the center line of your body. Inhale, gather the Qi, sink the Qi. Yes. And you can do that as many times as you want to during the day. So you can make a Qi ball, Or inhale and gather the Qi and sink the Qi and just feel that really relaxation settling in. You're going to calm your shoulders, your neck, where we hold a lot of tension. Talked about that the whole month. All there, right? So relaxing and feeling that flow of energy down your spine all the way back up. You want to inhale new, fresh energy, oxygen, life. And you want to settle that through the center line of your body. You want to settle that. You want to take that in. You want to feel really calm and centered, right? So that is a little bit of what you can do for yourself. I would love to give you a lot more exercises. If you want to find a lot more exercises, stay tuned because we're going to do a lot more over time. But also you can find them, of course, in my repertoire of YouTube videos, YouTube/ELIAN. And you can find that on moxie.xyz/ELIAN. That is a website where I also have a lot of videos for yoga, for Tai Chi, for energy work. And I made a lot of DVDs in the past, but I think DVDs are kind of out of fashion. Yes. So if we're thinking about doing this a lot more, then please reach out. I would love to give you just more ideas about all this, what we can do and how we can do it together. So I want to also include a lot more shows, right? With some energy work and some Tai Chi work. It can be really simple. So it's for everybody. You don't even have to stand up. You can do it sitting, and you can even bring that energy inside by laying down and just meditating on it and just feeling the benefits of energy work. So think about again what you want to take away today, working with energy. If you do some Qi Gong movements, they are what we just did in itself, standing movements, concentrating and just focusing on catching that Qi and feeling it, just feeling that tingling feeling. And if you are standing, for instance, or sitting, then you can also do gather the Qi and sink the Qi, right? That way you can just really feel. And all you have to do is getting a flow of breathing and a flow of moving at the same time. Inhale, exhale. Yes. So if you feel that, then you are already reaping the benefits, because if you do it a few minutes a day, bam, right? Calming. And you didn't think about all those things that we constantly have to be aware of. So when you're thinking about it again, doing it for yourself, all ages. This is not just something that is only for older people. You can do your boot camp. You can do your jumping jacks anytime you want, but reap the benefits of Tai Chi anyway. Because if you do that, then you are setting yourself up for great balance and for great strength and for great flexibility later on in life. So you will always feel the benefits of it. And if you do that with me, find me, like I said, you can always go through my website, and let's just get that out on www.alienhaan.com. Very simple way. You can also email me through the website info@alienhaan.com, or you can find YouTube videos there, or you can find other links to all these videos and all these Tai Chi groups and sessions that I did over time. So I did a lot on the seminars. If you're interested, reach out as well. So we'll then do another webinar, another seminar on it. And I definitely want to bring you more Qi. And I definitely want to give you more energy, because that's what this is all about. It's all about energy today. And I hope you feel it a little bit. I hope you feel the zzz. And at the same time, oh, so good, so calming, so relaxing. So I want to give that to you today because it was all about body this month. I hope you reach out and just keep watching ELIAN'S Joy with your show host, ELIAN. I love to be here in company of great and amazing women. And I will see you hopefully next time, and reach out anytime. Thank you so much.